my name is Emmanuel Sheehan, and I am hosting a very new podcast and a new series called The Secret Side of Project Management. This is going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of project management. We're going to be interviewing real-life practitioners, subject matter experts, and educators. We're going to be delving into why project management can be so easy, so hard, but more importantly, what they're secretly really doing. So if you're somebody who's new to project management, or you're thinking about getting into it, or you're a manager, or you're doing change management or benefit management, this series is for you. One, because you can be on it. Two, because you're going to hear what real practitioners are going through and how they're overcoming it. So I'm going to have to beg a little bit of forgiveness. This is our very first podcast. So I'm hosting on the behalf of the Pivotal Change Academy and the Pivotal Change Conference that's coming up very soon. I will not be your host every week, thankfully for you. There'll be a new host every week, but you will see some of these practitioners again. So my aim is for you to get to know them a little bit more today, to ask them some really interesting questions. But hopefully over time, I'm going to get questions from you on the spot that I can quiz them on, so you can get the information you want. We want this to be fun as well, because you have lives and you're busy and you won't come back. So bear with us. It's going to be a really real conversation, but there might be some bumps along the way. So it's time to get started with getting to know our participants, otherwise known as our subject matter experts. So I'd like to know from each one of you what you do, who you are, and why you signed up to this podcast. Let's start with you, Claire.
Okay, not necessarily in that order. I'm Claire Della, and I'm the founder and director of Pivotal Change Academy, along with my business partner, Saga Shah. And in my day job, I'm a benefits and portfolio specialist. And the reason that I decided to join this podcast is I love the idea of a series that tells it how it is. Doesn't just talk about how marvelous everything is and how the best projects are perfectly implemented, but actually talks about the real life project management.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's really important. I think sometimes there's a real wall, isn't there, between what's going on and what should be going on. So we're going to break that wall. So the same question is going to go to you, Roz. Who are you? What do you do? And why did you sign up?
I am Roz Ward. I am the founder and director of Develop to Advance Consultancy Limited. And the reason I was really interested in engaging with the session tonight is because I am a project manager, and I know how challenging and how isolating the role can be. It's a very challenging role sometimes, and I think it's when we're in the midst of an issue on our project, it can feel really overwhelming and we can feel quite alone. And so it's really important for us as project management professionals to kind of come together to provide these opportunities where we can come together and remember you're not alone. There are people out there who can support, and just to share ideas and to kind of help each other along. So that's why I was interested in taking part.
I really like that, because actually the more project managers talk to each other, the more they can help one another. So that's very cool. Andy, least but not last, or last but not least, tell us who you are, what do you do, and why you signed up.
Hello everyone, my name's Andy Morris. I'm a project management professional and also a training and development professional also. I've got my own company, which is a management consultancy, which is Be Safe Training Limited. And when I first heard about this podcast, I thought, okay, well, that's going to be a little bit different. It's something I haven't done before. I'm used to, working on a consultancy basis with a small group of people, or maybe when I'm training with a group of people, the same people in a group of maybe 12, 15, 20 at a time. And I felt this is really a good way to allow a more varied shared audience in the same place, the same time, talking about the same issues, where we can share all our experiences across multiple industries. And for me, every day is a learning day, and I'm looking forward to just as much as sharing my experiences with others. I'm really looking forward to hear other people's experiences, and I think this is a great platform to do that.
I always learn from you, Andy.
You're too kind.
That's very like a BBC moment. I liked that. Okay, so the listeners have gathered a little bit more about you. So let's delve a little bit more. So what the listeners might have gathered is that you're all trainers. So every single person in this particular interview is a trainer. Can you tell me what you train and who you train? So that's going to go to Claire.
Okay. I train practical techniques in benefits management, from very basic to the really advanced and mature techniques, and also in portfolios and business cases. And I deliver change psychology lectures as well at one or two universities. The people I train, everything from university students to frontline staff in the NHS and government departments, people who've never run a project before, all the way up to CEOs and leaders of major organisations.
Very cool. It's nice to hear the NHS being supported by somebody I know who is great at what they do. So that's brilliant. Roz, tell me a little bit more about who you train and what you train.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't feel I can compete with Claire's level of experience and expertise.
Gosh,
I've got imposter syndrome now. Yeah, you're right.
Shouldn't.
I mean, absolutely. I am a trainer. I train various different project management qualifications, including, but not only, but including Prince 2 and APM specifically. And I do love my role as a trainer, but I just kind of wanted to add in there that the part of my role that I enjoy more than that of trainer is actually being a coach. So, yes, I deliver training, I deliver professional qualifications, and that can be from people who are at the beginning of their project management career, or it can be project managers with decades of experience who just don't have a formal qualification attached to the role that they undertake. But like I say, for me, I think the coaching element of my role is actually it's something that I enjoy far more, because I think that, yeah, professional qualifications, they're fantastic. They have their place. They're very valuable, perhaps as providing a gateway into the career of project management. But it goes far beyond that. When you're looking at coaching people, it's about identifying their individual needs and their project's individual needs. And project management methodologies can't always give you the answer to a specific problem within a project. So I much prefer to be able to coach people, to ask them what's happening in their world, in their projects, what issues are they faced with, and to come up with a training and coaching session that meets those specific needs, rather than it just being, a very formal and sterile approach to training delivery.
Wow, you're certainly not an imposter, Roz.
And also chirping in the difference between training and coaching, which there is. Nicely done. Andy, tell us a little bit about what you deliver and who you deliver to.
Okay, well, probably over the last 30 years, I've delivered quite a varied, various different management skills, varying from, of course, project management, but health and safety, security, even first aid, believe it or not, compliance, quality assurance, and even English at one time. So my passion, although I'm a project manager, and that's really where my skill set is, my passion does probably lie with development, and that's really one of the reasons why I'm doing this. The kind of people I'm delivering this to and qualifying in, or sometimes consulting in businesses on their sites, are really, really varied, from entry level, literally people coming out of schools and colleges, through to junior management, mid management, and senior management, and executive level. And currently, my focus at the moment is working with governments, councils in the NHS, primarily on the project management apprenticeships. That's what's taking most of my time at the moment.
Right.
Ooh, we've definitely got a good panel this evening, so I'm appreciative of your time, and I'm feeling a little bit like an imposter. So
we know you're not.
Let's imagine the listeners are thinking about going on a training course with you. I think what they really want to know is a really good naughty secret about training that you're holding behind and not letting anyone know. So each one of you trains project professionals, management professionals, C-suite professionals, so your CEOs. So Claire, tell me a secret of something that you've done in training that's been really embarrassing.
Something I've done that's embarrassing. Well, I mean, anyone will tell you who goes on my courses, I talk with my hands. I tend to throw things around a bit. So if I've got a pen in my hand or one of those presentation clickers, at some point it's going to fly into the crowd. But probably the most embarrassing one was the time where I backed into a coat stand and it fell on me.
Oh no! And how many people was that in front of?
Yeah.
That was a class of 16. Yeah,
Ooh,
you know, talking away and
number of
backing up
spectators.
towards the yeah,
You
backing
can't
up
recover
towards
from that, can you?
Yeah, it's not like a
Not
shady
really.
fart, and you're like, let me move on.
Just like I got to the end of the section and said, "Should we have a coffee break?"
I like it. Okay, so I'm going to answer this question to Roz next. So Roz,
Yeah.
tell me a bit embarrassing story. What whilst training these amazing project professionals and C-suite executives.
Yeah, there's so many stories. I'm a notoriously clumsy person by nature, so there's some stories that I can't share because they'd have to be censored. But one example that's really fresh in my mind because it actually happened today. So obviously, we're in a current situation whereby we're all in lockdown, social distancing due to the current COVID crisis, and as a result of that, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I have been working remotely. So I've gotten very used to rolling out of bed, switching on my laptop and starting work without even thinking about putting a brush through my hair, basically. Now, today it just so happened that I was a member of an assessment panel. It was quite a formal assessment that was taking place. It was being delivered via an online conferencing platform. And as I've gotten used to, I hadn't necessarily made a huge amount of effort with regard to my personal presentation. So I logged into the virtual meeting and realised very early on, but far too late, that I was the only person who wasn't dressed in professional business attire.
Oh no.
Kind of neglected to remember that you still have to maintain your professional integrity and your presentation even when you're working at home. So yeah, that was a big lesson learned, and it was a little bit embarrassing. So yeah.
But you weren't wearing your pajamas, right?
Not
I know
quite.
the answer.
There's only one tear up from being in my pajamas, however.
I feel that's a really good example, because I think lots of people with the lockdown have found themselves in meetings where they're like, you know what, I shouldn't be wearing this outfit.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of listeners are going to go, yeah, I've got you, girl. I hear you. Okay, Andy, now share us another level of embarrassment.
Oh my word, where shall I start? Okay, maybe if there are other trainers out there, they might relate to this. I do recall one time a couple of years back when I was doing some short courses at the time, and in fact I was teaching and qualifying Prince 2 a practitioner, and I went into my classroom in the morning and do my normal thing, make sure everyone's there, wipe the boards, get myself set up, and then all the delegates, all the learners would come in, shake their hand as you do, hello, good morning, how are you? And I start my kind of opening speech and welcome everyone and settling everybody down and tell them how fantastic this week's going to be and how much they're going to enjoy it all. And the next, I get to, okay, let's have a look at something in a book. So I asked them to open up to page 3. I said, right, okay, everyone now open up your Prince 2 books over to page 3. And of course, somebody at the back puts their hand up and say, Andy, I said, yeah. Prince 2 book, I've got agile project management in front of me here. And oh no, I was only in the wrong classroom, wasn't I?
Oh no.
I can relate.